In this video, we are going to look at how to create a relative drop-down. What is a relative drop-down? A drop-down that works based on the previous drop-down selection or a previous selection. Let's look at an example here. The country has a drop down and we can choose any one country from this drop down. For this example, I'm picking up India, and when I look at city, it is going to give us all the cities that belong to India. And if I choose China, this drop down data is going to change automatically. This is relative drop down. And if I choose all, it is going to list all the city names invariably whatever country they belong to. Now let's look at how to create such drop downs. I have a mapping tab where I have the data for city and country, and I am going to select all the data and going to paste it here in column H, value pasted, and I would need individual data for country as well as city. So I copied country and pasting it in column M and going to data tab and remove duplicates. My data has headers, click OK, and these are the values that I have for country, the unique values. Similarly, I will be doing the same for city as well. I'm going to do it in column P, paste it, bold the heading, select the data, on data tab, remove duplicates. Ideally, we should not have. However, the data is not clean, we might have some duplicates. Alright, so I am going to move one row to the bottom and add one data here, which is all. All is an option that we should be providing the user to select to show all the data. And if you notice, we do not have all here, and we should be adding it to the country. And if we kind of do it one by one, it is gonna be a little difficult. So as a small alternative, I am gonna do a simple an Excel hack. I'm updating one to the left of the countries. I'm gonna copy this data and going to the bottom, I'm gonna paste it over here, and let's apply a filter, Alt DFF, that is the shortcut for filter, or you can also use Control Shift L. I'm selecting the entire data. I'm going to sort it, Alt D yes, and I'm choosing country and then sorted by city. When I click OK, everything is sorted, and I'm going to choose all the ones in the city and gonna rename it as all. So every data that I have will have all category included, or every city will have all for respective countries. I'm gonna delete this, which I would not be using it, and let us say names. This is something that we would be using it. Now let's give some names to all the countries here. For all, let's call it as all underscore city. For India, it could be IND. For United States, US. For Germany, GER. For Russia or US. For China, CHN. So why did we create this? Because this is going to help us on the relative drop down. Now let's create a data range with all the countries and cities. Let's pick one by one. China. I'm selecting all the cities in China and I'm gonna name it as CHN, the same nomenclature that we used it here. Next, I'm selecting Germany. Select all in Germany and call it as GER, and let's do it for other countries as well. India, IND, and Russia will be RUS, and United States will be US. Okay, so now we kind of given a name to all the cities to their respective countries, and we have another distinct list of cities. I'm going to give a name to this as well and call it as all underscore city. So all the names that we have given, it is here, so we are going to make use of this as well. And if you want to look at the names that we created, you could go to formulas and name manager. So this will give us all the names that we created, and you will also see other names that I have created for the existing data or the existing drop downs. Let's create a drop down for country and let us say city, or yeah, city here, and let's format a little bit. Okay, and cell styles, let us give a good color. Okay, okay, this looks better. Oh, this looks even better. Let's go over this style. Alright, so now let us select the data that needs to pop up or that needs to come in the drop down. Let's go to data and data validation, choose list, and the source will be in the mapping sheet, and it will be from row number 2 to row number 7 on column M. You click OK, your data will be listed here. And before we do anything here, we are gonna write a formula. Let's write a simple VLOOKUP equals VLOOKUP, my bad, equals VLOOKUP, select the country, comma, the table of array. Let's go to mapping and select this. Let's freeze the data range, comma 2, comma 0, close the bracket. If you notice, it is giving us an error because we do not have a data. Let's assume if it is blank or if the value all is selected, we assume that we should have all the cities shown here. For that, let's introduce another formula, which is if error before we look up, and we add this name that we kind of created now, all underscore city, and close the bracket. Now even if we select all, or if we keep it blank, this is the default value. Now let's look at the city drop down. Let's go to data validation and select list. In the source, let's write a formula equals indirect open bracket, select the formula cell and close the bracket, click OK. If you notice, you will see all the cities that are listed. The moment we change the selection to United States, you will see a change in the city list. You will also see a change in the city list when we change it to China. And you could also question that if there is no selection made, we should not have any drop down. If that is a requirement, then we could delete this if error condition and keep only the error or the VLOOKUP formula. So when there is nothing, we will not be able to select anything here. Only when we have a data selected from the drop down in country, we will be able to see the city data. If this is kept blank, we will not be able to see anything, or we will not be able to select anything. And once all the formula and drop down is created, you could hide this either by selecting a font color as white, or you could hide the row. It depends on the design that you want to take it forward. Let me make it white so that it is simple, and I can also say ignore error so that I don't see a small green flag. So we have our relative drop down ready. If you have any questions, please drop a note on the comment section.